Heartbreak again. Eala collapses in Hong Kong as season ends. Watch her. Emotional farewell in the humid autumn. Air of Hong Kong. The stadium lights shone brightly. But for Eala, the glow carried a bittersweet tone. The Filipino tennis prodigy, fueled by weeks of grueling competition, radiant energy, and national pride, found herself at the end of her 2025 season, not in victory, but in heartbreak. The Hong Kong Open, her final tournament of the year, ended in a scene that felt like a cinematic. Heartbreak, tears, applause, and the bittersweet hush of finality. As the final ball struck the net, Eala dropped her racket and covered her face. She wasn't just exhausted. She was overwhelmed. The match had been hers to win, and yet the dream slipped through her fingers like grains of sand. The crowd rose to its feet in a standing ovation. They knew they had witnessed more than a match. They had witnessed a chapter in the making of a warrior, a battle fought with heart. Eala's 2025 season had been one of emotional crescendos and brutal tests. From her first tournament in Doha to the intense clay battles of Europe, she had evolved, sharpened, and found her rhythm against the world's toughest. Yet this final clash in Hong Kong felt different. It wasn't just about ranking points or prize money. It was about closure. Facing a formidable opponent, Canada's Victoria Boo, the same rising star would stun her earlier in the season. Eala entered the court with fire in her eyes. The early rallies were fierce, the intensity palpable. Each forehand she unleashed seemed to carry the weight of her nation's hopes, the voices of her supporters echoing through her heart. The first set slipped away narrowly, 5-7, painfully close. But the fight in her didn't waver. She roared back in the second set, firing cross-court winners that drew gas from the crowd. Her grit, her athleticism, her mental steel, it was all on full display. She took the set 6-3, clenching her fist as she looked skyward. But the third set was where the body gave way before the heart did. Eala began to stumble. The rallies grew shorter. Her movement slowed. The fatigue of a long season of countless hours spent under burning sun began to take its toll. Her legs trembled. Her breathing grew heavy. Yet she refused to quit, even when her opponent sensed weakness, a fought for every ball. When she finally fell to her knees after the last point, a double fault that sealed her fate, the silence was deafening. The collapse that broke hearts. Moments after the handshake, Eala sank to the court. Physios rushed in. Fans called. Her name and tears streamed down her cheeks. The cameras zoomed in, capturing an image that would soon flood social media across the Philippines. A young warrior lying on her back, eyes closed, in both physical pain and emotional collapse. It wasn't a feat of failure. It was a collapse of exhaustion, of emotional overload. Her dream season had ended not with a trophy, but with the raw vulnerability of a fighter who had given absolutely everything. As she sat up, wiping her tears, the crowd began chanting, "Alex, Alex, Alex." It was a moment of solidarity that transcended sport. In that moment, she wasn't just a player. She was every dreamer who'd fallen short but refused to surrender. The emotional farewell. After a few moments, arose to her feet, limping slightly. She waved at fans who stood in awe. Her post-match interview was short, but poignant, her voice trembling with emotion. "I wanted to end the season strong," she said softly. "I gave it everything I had. I think sometimes your body gives out before your heart does." The words struck like poetry, truth, wrapped in heartbreak. She thanked her team, her family, and most of all the Filipino fans who had stayed up past midnight to watch her play. To all my Cababayans, she added, her voice cracking. This isn't the end. I promise. I'll come back stronger. The audience responded with thunderous applause. Even her opponent, Boo, walked over and wrapped in a hug. Two young stars recognizing that tennis is more than rivalry. It's a shared journey of resilience, from dreams to scars. The 2025 journey. Eala's 2025 season will be remembered not for how it ended, but for how she evolved. At just 20, she faced the world's elite women she once idolized as a child and stood toe-to-toe with them. Her serve gained power, her court IQ sharpened, and her mental fortitude reached new heights. She reached 2 WTA semifinals, broke into the top 50, and carried the Philippine flag higher than ever before. Every victory came with its story of sacrifice, late-night flights, lonely hotel rooms, and grueling recovery sessions. Yet, the heartbreak in Hong Kong will likely be the season's most defining chapter, because greatness isn't born in victory, it's forged and loss, the symbol of a nation's hope. For millions of Filipinos, Alex represents more than just tennis. She is a symbol of an underdog nation's sporting dreams, the face of resilience, the proof that heart can conquer limitations. In her, the Philippines sees the next great sports icon, the first to truly make waves in a global individual sport. As fans watched her farewell, tears turned to pride. She might have fallen in Hong Kong, but her spirit didn't. Social media overflowed with love. You made us proud, Alex. This is not the end. It's your new beginning. Even in defeat, you shine brighter than ever. The Filipino flag emoji trended alongside her name, and as clips of her emotional exit spread across the internet, one image stood out. Alexa waving goodbye with a trembling smile, her eyes glistening, the city lights of Hong Kong reflecting in her tears. What comes next? Eala announced she would take a brief break to recover before beginning preparations for the 2026 season. Her plans include a renewed focus on physical conditioning and mental training, aiming to push further in Grand Slams and solidify her spot in the top rankings. Her coach later revealed that Alex had been playing through minor shoulder discomfort since the quarterfinals, a detail that only deepened fans' admiration for her perseverance. She never complains. Her coach said she just keeps fighting. That's who Alex is. Indeed, resilience defines her story, the essence of a champion. Heartbreaks, like Hong Kong, aren't the end. They're the fire that forges champions. Every legend has a story of falling before, rising higher. Serena had Melbourne. Nadal had Wimbledon. Now Eala has Hong Kong. She will carry this pain, this collapse, this emotional farewell into the next chapter of her journey. It will fuel her when training feels endless, when exhaustion creeps in, when doubt whispers, because true greatness doesn't come from talent alone. It comes in a refusal to give up after the world thinks you've fallen. As the Philippine flag flooded above the stands at evening, a new chapter quietly began, not one of defeat, but of rebirth. In the end, Hong Kong wasn't where Eala's season ended. It was where her legend began. The tears, the heartbreak, the collapse, they were not signs of weakness, but of a young woman brave, enough to give everything she had in pursuit of greatness. As she said in her farewell message, the journey never ends. It only changes direction. See you all next season. And somewhere beneath the Hong Kong night sky, a young champion's fire still burned, soft, steady and unstoppable. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to hit the subscribe button, like, and share. Till next